Hey, welcome back to Daily Hope. Question, is there an action that you could take today that would result in God showing up and working? We spent a lot of time earlier this year studying faith and how God interacts with us. He responds to faith in action. Yesterday, in Isaiah 40, verse 3, we looked at this principle that when you find yourself in a wasteland or a dry and weary land, to roll out the red carpet and prepare the way to invite God to come and work. And in fact, in verses 4 and 5 of Isaiah 40, God's going to pick up on that theme today. Verse 4 says this, "Fill in the valleys and level the mountains and the hills, straighten the curves and smooth out the rough places." What is this saying? This is talking about paving a road. So clear out the obstacles in your life. The obstacle of fear, the obstacle of not trusting God, the obstacle of worrying about what other people think, the obstacle of worshiping money or other things instead of God. Use your will to clear those things out. Pave a smooth road to say, God, I want you to show up in my life. I want you to speak into my life. I want you to be the God of my life. What does God do in response to that? Well, verse 5 says this, "Then the glory of the Lord will be revealed, and all people will see it together. The Lord has spoken." So there are a few layers of truth here. First, God spoke this to Isaiah specifically for a nation that had turned away from God and was experiencing the consequences of their sinful choices. And God's saying to his prophet, tell them to prepare the way for me and choose me again, and if they will, I'll show up. But there's another layer, and that's that this principle in the character of an unchanging God applies today. Whether it's sin or other obstacles that have really hindered our view of God, we can also prepare the way of the Lord, and he promises he will show up. And I love what verse 5 says, all people will see it together. So that's another layer, that in the future, when Jesus returns as King of Kings and Lord of Lords, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. And all people of all time will see that nations were temporary, empires were temporary, fortunes were disposable, and the only thing that was eternal and worthy of worship was God himself expressed to us through the person and the work of Jesus. So let's live for him today. Let's clear the way for him to work in our lives, in our families, in our church, and through us together. I'll see you tomorrow for more Daily Hope.